This video is made for an adult audience. Hey Big fans, welcome back to the Big Bakery, where all our jokes are half baked. I'm Jacob and today it's time to do some prototyping for a raised section for my Lego city. An important part of having a Lego city is making everything visible. And one of the ways you can do that is by adding different levels, because if you just have one level, it can be kind of hard to see stuff that's in the back. So today I thought I would show you folks some prototyping that I'm doing for the raised section of my Lego city. But without further ado, let's get over to building. The idea is to have a raised section here and then in the corner down here and have the train go beneath that in this corner. Now I am 100 billion% certain that I do not have enough bricks to build all that at this point, but I am thinking I could do part of it or maybe make a mock-up or something like that to get an idea of how many bricks I actually need. Now, there are several things to consider when doing stuff like this. One of the things I am very much interested in figuring out is whether or not I should go for a classic light bluish gray using stuff like this. These are the masonry bricks. Or maybe go for something a little more different, which would be this, a dark red. This is also masonry bricks, and I love masonry bricks. It's a wonderful brick, brings a lot of detail to a build very quickly. The problem is with this, I don't have enough dark red, and I'm gonna have to buy a lot of dark bricks to finish this off in the way that I think it should look. Light bluish gray, however, I do have more of, and sort of mixing light bluish gray masonry bricks with just plain light bluish gray bricks would look good. I'm not certain which way to go with this, so I think maybe I'll do a trial run of some sort and then make a decision based on that. I had an idea to do these arches as sort of a decorative part of the wall, which is going to be in front of the whole raised section. However, I also wanted somewhere for the train to enter, and I had this arch here. It is, as I think it is actually wide enough for the train to move through, but because of the counting that's going on here with these arches, it's going to make it very hard to do something that matches here, unless, I don't know if I can actually do something like this and then have a skip here. Maybe that could work. I don't know, because I also had an idea that these that are going down the side, which would be towards the front of my city, could actually have small shops in them or something like that. That would look cool. It is something that was in my old city as well, and I like that detail a lot. So I would like that to be there again. I think I came up with a pattern of these arches that might work. A small one here, then two bigger ones here, and then the big one here in the middle for the train. Now, of course, it's not going to be this low. I'm going to have it a bit higher for the train actually be able to get in through it. So, yeah. I think I've figured out the height at this point, at least for this arch right here. And of course, I can add this one and this one. Maybe this one needs to be up a bit higher to match a bit better, but basically this is the shape I'm going for. Oh, there we go. And here, and of course, over here as well. So we got these four arches going across. And it does look interesting. I don't know. Yeah, let's see how it looks when it's finished. So So here's the first sort of prototype of what I'm trying to do. Maybe I think these surfaces get a bit, I don't know, boring? I've been thinking about this prototype here, and I think there are several things I'm not satisfied with. First of all, I think these archways are too narrow. They should be much wider. I think this width here is much better than this, and this one again gets way too narrow because they're so tall, and they really need to be tall because there has to be room for the train. Moreover, I think the dark red gets too dark, especially when you want to sort of have a big area of this. So I'm fairly certain I need to do this in the light bluish gray if I need to do something with this. Here we go. This is a very basic prototype. Done several things that are different from the first one. Let's just see that one in comparison. Right here, you see this one is much wider, and of course I've used the light gray masonry bricks. Now I'm not sure that the eventual wall will actually contain only masonry bricks. That's simply going to be too much. I think this pattern gets, well, it gets repetitive at some point. I've also chosen to staple or place these on top of each other because the pattern fits way better between the masonry bricks than if you offset them by one. But if you offset them by one, you get something that's a lot more stable. It won't topple over as easily. So there is that trade-off. But it does look weird because of these matching the wrong way. The stripes here matches the wrong way. Of course, this part here isn't going to be white in the eventual look, in the eventual thing I'm going for. I'll use light gray. I'm actually thinking I should be implementing something here, and I'm also thinking that this could be used for small shops and such, which I think would look good. I think I'll do a brief mock-up of that in this here. I want to place this card, this train card right here to get a sense of whether or not there was room for it, and it seems that there is. But let's see how this would look if there was a small shop or something in here. Here is a simple mock-up of a small store that could be down here. I think that could work good. I'm not certain that it should just continue with the gray up here, and some of the stores might, you know, continue up here a little more and have some patterns and such. But the basic idea of having a shop here, I think is great. Of course, there could be done a lot with this, a lot of more details, maybe some greenery and such. And maybe I should try that out just a bit to see how that works. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I've added some plants that's crawling up the wall right here, and of course a mix of masonry bricks and normal bricks gives this wonderful detailed look, which I like very, very much. Of course, I should be doing the same over here, but this is still just a mock-up. This is just something I'm doing to figure out what I need to make this all the way around the area that I wish to make it. I do have some ideas of how to create the top up here. A slight overhang and a fence would look great, I think. So that's what I'm going to look into at this point. All right, so the idea is to have some of these fences up here. Now I am thinking that maybe, just maybe, I should do something to have more fence and less bricks. Not sure I should be using mason bricks up here either. Now, here is where the buildings on top will be leaning. Now I am, first of all, considering to have my modular building standing up here, which means there will be a sidewalk in front of those, which will make a path about 8 studs wide. So there'll be a path up here where people can walk around and have a look over the rest of the city. But I think I'll test out another look for this up here before I move on for some detailing on top. There we go, that's one version of the details. I just added some tiles up here, both on these tips up here and on the fence itself, some round tiles here. Not sure that'll be the finished look, but again, this is just a sort of prototype. This is just to get a sense of how much I need brick-wise. In the spirit of getting this prototype as close to the actual end product, I will try to put this on a base plate in such a way that I can actually try to place a modular on top, and we'll see how that goes. It will need some scaffolding inside this, and that scaffolding does have to, you know, accommodate the fact that there's a train that's going to be running by behind here. But for now, I'm just going to try out to make something that can accommodate a modular on top, and we'll see how that goes. Here we go, that is the exterior done. Now, of course, there should be a little more here to accommodate the full building. That's not something I'm going to worry about at this point, but I've figured out that these arches are 12 wide, which I think that would correspond to 1.5 base plate, because that would be 48 studs, which is 4 of these. So for every 1.5 plates, I can do 4 arches like this, which would be very fitting. But for now, I'm going to try to do some kind of scaffolding in here and see how it looks if I put one of my modular buildings on top. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Oh, of course, I have realized that this opening, which is the train tunnel, should of course be here, because there's not going to be room if I add small shops along the way. But that's why you build a prototype. That's why you do some kind of preliminary work. So that's good. That's a scaffolding. I think this will hold fine for this purpose. I'm not completely sure I'll actually be building the scaffolding out of bricks. Maybe I should do something with some wood or something, because that might save on bricks. It might actually not be cheaper as such, but it might be easier to work with in the long run. So this is just for the prototype. I've got to think about how to do the scaffolding inside for the actual build. But for now, yeah, I'm going to try to build or put a one of my modular buildings up here so we can see how it actually looks. I managed to make 2 prototypes today, and I'm actually not certain which one I should go with. I know I proceeded farther on with this one, but that's mostly because I had more light gray bricks than I did dark red ones. So maybe this is the one I should go with. I'd love to hear you folks' thoughts on this, but I'll queue up some glamour shots, and then I hope you'll stick around for the wrap-up. there we go, that's the prototypes I've put together. I think this turned out pretty good. I'm not sure it's too original though. I think I've seen something very similar to this out and about in YouTube land with other wonderful Lego builders. But if you have any kind of ideas, suggestions for details, suggestions for the kinds of shops that might be beneath this race section, I'd love to hear it. But that is all for me today. I hope you'll comment, like, and subscribe, and I hope to see you folks next time.